Well, welcome to this brief lecture on the statistics of the RCA. I'll just summarize some of the things that I think are worth noting, and it does give a very clear picture of the denomination and perhaps a good idea of what the future might look like. Each year, the statistics are reported at General Synod, and General Synod is usually held in June. This year, obviously, with the coronavirus, COVID-19, we don't have that luxury. We didn't have a General Synod, but we do have the statistics as they were collected as of December 31st of the prior year, which in this case is December 31st, 2019. So here we are in 2020, and we have the statistics. At the closing of this slide presentation, I will give you the link to the statistics information that's online by the denomination. So with COVID-19 too, we are kind of seeing our way through things. What is important to note as well is the fact that the Vision 2020 report, which was supposed to be given this June and decided on, was presented before June, but no decisions will be made. People will have a whole year to contemplate the future, and the future is very much dictated by the Vision 2020 results and the statistics as we have them for the denomination, which continue to change and fluctuate as we go along. So the confessing members, which is a very important number for our denomination, it continues to go down. At one point, Ari Brower, who was the general secretary many years ago, used to say that once we as the denomination fall below 200,000 confessing members, we are no longer a viable denomination. Well, we've remained viable, and we've dropped down to 125,000 confessing members. But we continue to survive and continue to at some places still thrive. And that's what we need to remember. We need to stay hopeful and remember that this still represents a large number of people who share our tradition. So we're at 125,560. This is the number 2 on which the assessment amount is determined. So each member, each church, each member is assigned a certain dollar amount, and the assessment is described to that. We are looking at a new assessment system, which is based on income, and we'll look at the income and numbers in a little bit in a few slides. Households continues to go down, obviously, as confessing members go down. This is a pretty regular pattern, and we're down to 81,000 households that are represented by the statistical report of December 31st. Churches, these continue to go down, and this is often an interesting statistic because we do church multiplication, church starts, church plants, and you would think that this number would not only be stable, but would increase over time. That is not the case, and there are a number of reasons for that. In part, there are churches that are closing down because of low membership. That's especially in some areas, such as some East Coast areas, where the churches have just become too small to remain open. Other churches have left. In the Midwest especially, there have been a number of churches that have left, mostly over the sexuality issue. Some still remain dissatisfied with the elimination of the conscience clause and the women's issue. So there are a number of churches leaving and have left. Again, this past year, I could name a number in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois. There are churches that continue to leave. So the number continues to go down. I do suspect that when we see the 2021 statistics as of December 31st, 2020, that this number may go up or be stable. The reason being is we've created a whole new classes in Florida, classes de nation, classes of the nations, which is mostly Hispanic, and we've adopted a number of congregations and pastors who have joined the RCA because they think they align better theologically with us and they see potential in us. I think it helps that our general secretary is Hispanic, and he has been able to have a very positive influence on the creation of this new classes, as well as the classes of the Americas, which is on the West Coast in California mostly. These are two classes which are mostly Hispanic and are adding to our numbers rather than decreasing our numbers. So I'm hopeful that this number of churches will be stable as of 2020, December 31st, and maybe even increase a little bit because there have been a number of churches that are being added as I speak. Here are the numbers as we have them right now: confessing members, inactive members, baptized members, and adherents. These are all the numbers we do record. They do give a picture of what is happening as far as our membership in the RCA. So confessing members is important to us because that's on which the assessment has been based in the past. But inactive members is a key. Baptized members, I think, is key. So the total membership actually is 194,000. But as you can see, compared to 2017, that number is also down significantly. And adherence, which in this case has gone up. This is partially because of churches organizing. So they're not members yet at the churches that are starting to organize. Some of these being the churches in these new classes. But the number of adherents has gone up, 64,000 as compared to 50,000 in 2017. So that's a hopeful number that I think we want to look at, and it might represent what the future might hold for us as these adherents see a reason to become members, and the organization of a church would allow them to become members. When it's still a church plant, membership can't be held because there's really no consistory yet to oversee it, and the statistics don't report that. The finances are important, as I said, especially as we look at changing how we pay for denominational objectives and programs. And rather than a per member assessment, we have the General Synod has tentatively approved an assessment based on income. So assessments are important to the life of the denomination because inflation and everything else is increasing. It does cost more for the denomination to operate, and we've gone from 13,000 to 15,000 since 2016. So that's significant. What also is important to note, though, is that contributions, RCA contributions, are down, and that again too is offset by some fundraising. We have a development office in the RCA that goes to individuals and operates fund drives on as a denomination, and those do make up for some of the RCA contributions. Included in that would be some of the things done in terms of disaster relief. We have an office that we do with World Church Relief, and that too is a good basis on which to support our mission programs and disaster relief, and and it's easier to raise funds when something like Hurricane Katrina hit. And we've had very many disasters this past year too that we've been collecting for. The finances are important, and because the numbers are going way down from 322,000 in 2017 to 306, and membership is going way down. We do see significant budget cuts in the denomination. In personnel, there's been cutting back of employees. Probably the most significant for MFCA is the fact that MFCA is being eliminated, and new ways of allowing people to become ordained in the RCA will have to be created. So as you're taking this course too, we need to be well aware that budgets are the reason why MFCA probably will no longer exist in the next couple of years. But rest assured, there have been guarantees made by the denominational leadership that there will be methods and processes in which you can be ordained. But for the time being, budgets are being cut, and MFCA will be eliminated, as have a number of positions in the denomination, and a number of departments have had to cut back significantly to the point where we were becoming more classes, local church driven, really, in terms of finances. So we're looking at a different assessment system for the denomination for finances. We're looking at different ways of increasing membership. We're looking at different ways of doing church. Churches with more and more adherents still makes for a thriving and lively church, but doesn't add to the denominational statistics like we're used to. So this is kind of the picture of the RCA statistically, in terms of membership, in terms of finances. During this COVID season, we don't know the true impact of what COVID will do. Ultimately, it certainly has allowed us to be much more creative in how we worship, how we do things. We also don't know the Vision 2020 report, and it's lukewarm in how it's been received by the denomination. Some people have lost hope. Others see potential in it. And there continue to be churches, once they've seen the 2020 Vision report, who have said, we're not going to stay. So they are looking at an exit plan, which the 2020 report does include, an exit plan for churches to graciously depart from us. So yes, there's concern, but God is in control, and hopefully that this will allow the reconfiguration of the RCA in ways that our numbers, the people we reach will increase, our finances may prosper, so that we can continue to fulfill the mission that God has placed on us as the RCA. So you can look up some of the statistics yourself, and once December 31st has rolled around, there will be new statistics again for the denomination. So thank you for just running with me on these statistics. I know statistics don't excite necessarily everyone, but this does give a picture of what we're about. So blessings.